everyone, today we're going to answer the question in the part B of reading comprehensions. We have different fun questions that we're going to answer today, and then one big discussion question. Firstly, we're going to answer the first is, why does Delhi believe that people devalue things that we do every day? Firstly, is that Delhi believe that people devalue things because we believe that we can every day because we often think that leaders mean big, world changing, everything that was small, everything change. And if we are leaders, we need to change the whole world. People think big, people think huge, too huge. And so instead of realizing that small actions can deeply impact the others as well. Because people thought that it needed world-changing acts, obviously change the world right away. Because leaders, without the leaders, people who are expert, people who are riches, people who are billionaires, that can only think of minds, professionals. But sometimes even professional can't actually change the world as we thought. Sometimes people who are expert, people who are the biggest people in the world, they can't actually solve everything in 1 second. Sometimes they're thinking, they make mistakes. It's not actually changing the world, because sometimes people who are expert, they can't actually change the world as we actually think. Small actions can actually deeply impact the others, instead of realizing the small act can deeply impact the others. Moving on to the second question is to explain how the lollipop moments redefine the traditional ideas of leadership. So firstly, the lollipop moments redefine leadership can be showing it's not about the titles or power, it's about the simple. Because the lollipop moments redefine leadership, because leadership is not about huge titles, huge titles on billboards and every single billboard or magazines or fashion shows, anything. Because titles are empowered to control others. It's not about it's simple. It's really about the very simple thing. Everyday action can make a difference in someone's life. If you ever change someone by making a really engaging speech, you make a speech to encourage others to do this. For example, they have university, you change your shoes because they're too excited about themselves. Maybe even changing something. For example, making a different story or to encourage others. Even small speeches, very short very speeches can actually benefit for one people. Moving on to the third question is, what does Delhi means when it says there is no world, only 6 billion understand of it? So what does it mean by there are no world at all, and there are only 6 billion understand of it? So what does Delhi means? What does he actually means by that under the phrase? So when Delhi says that there are no world, only 6 billion understand of all, he means that people who are more experienced, everyone experience and interpreting life differently, so they actually shape each other and the view of the world. So what does it actually mean? So with things that there are no world only, there are only 6 billions, and only 6 billions understand of all. Which what he means here is that people have different opinions, they have different uniques, they different experience and interpretation life differently. People have really good childhoods. People who have bad childhoods, they're losing their parents. They don't have no homes. They have regretting their lives for many reasons. They're regretting things that they don't like. People who are actually over. People who have experience interpreting their life it's differently. People who act their lives differently, and so our actions shape each other and unique views of the world. We see views of the world around us, and only 6 billion of all have been unique. Only have people who are integrated with their lives, and the only our action shape each other. We learn from each other's past. We learn from each other's experience, childhoods, integrations, as well as regrets. We shape each other by unique roads of the view. Moving on to the fourth question is, why does Delhi compare birthdays with moments of impacts, and what ironings does he highlight? Delhi compares birthdays with moments of impact that show that celebrates being born. Often forget to celebrate the moments, because celebrate the moments between us. People also he comparing for birthdays of people who are born, the moments of impact of how to celebrate being the born, and it's often forget celebrate the moments where it truly makes other people's lives. We celebrate birthdays. We celebrate any unique things about us, but we're actually forgetting about celebrate the other our own born, but I often forget to celebrate the moments together that we make other benefits for all. And then irony, it's when we honor the existence as well as not the influence others, because sometimes we celebrate birthdays. We die for 365 days, and we only celebrate for once of 365 days, which we have like 365 kinds of birthdays in our total weeks. And after all, we live in this world and we have celebrated birthdays. We never celebrate the kind of unique ideas, the kind of moments together that we built ourselves. Moving on to the fifth question is, in your opinions, how can acknowledge the law of moment change relationship and workplace school? Acknowledging the law of moments can change your relationship by encouraging collaboration, organization, and connection between people, as well as making people feel more valued, as well as inspired by your own work, inspired by the workplace and schools. Okay, so that is the end of like all the 5 questions we discussed today. Moving on to the big discussion question. Firstly, is that George Leah argued that we make leadership about changing the world. So do you agree with that leadership should be defined as really impact and we have others? So we're going to answer with examples and advanced reasons. So do you agree? Well, obviously yes, but because it's conveyed. So I agree that leadership should be defined because they include everyday impacts. Because we treat leadership as domestic or dramatic and world changing and like rare, because people thought that we want to be leaders. We want to be people who change the world, big and big changing world, and easy to know. But the recognition is that we should be defining is that the recognition of leadership makes the influence of visibility and not replacement of the big ideas of logical leadership need for systematic changes. Because sometimes the leadership because it is conveyed. So firstly, everyday leadership should be defined because it includes everyday impacts. Like everyday small changes encourage people to value your own ideas in each other. Treating leadership is a dramatic board is not the kind of reason we are supporting here. It means that we are valuing every single moment together, every single moment that you are changing the world as well as changing the world for other people. Firstly, what we find matters. Firstly is a skill through networks and compounding effects. Secondly, is the democratization and as well as the physiological ability. It's when we are valued each work, we are more democratized. So firstly, let me move on to the concrete example in the workplace, school, healthcare, the civil rights. We want to the potential for objects and limits. We need the structure, action, and measurable difficulty between people. So what is my evidence here? It's that peoples have been throughout the century who have been go through a lot of different organizations and tell a story, change micro skill. Those are the reason why I believe that this motion, this kind of topic should be redefined because it's going to impact a lot. So this is my end of my answer question. Thank you for listening and goodbye.